It's Twice in the blue and Moro in the red as these two teams battle out for a Premiership spot here tonight, starting off on Koth product.
Yeah, we'll be very interested to see how this goes. Who takes the slot into Premiership already? Who has to go the long way back through losers with a big mid fight already? Damage coming through, and with Harry going down, suddenly Twice is just having to scramble for anything. But I don't think there's enough people alive to really do much of anything. You'd hope for Demo Bomb, but Sammy's not in a good position while the red team just sits themselves comfortably on the point to get away with the mid win for the time being. Look at that, Humphrey still pushing forward with the rest of the team, just thinking about a bit of a forward hold. Seeing what they can get away. Both the blue team still safe and Spawn, not really too aware of what's going on outside, but looks like by the time they get there, they should have it in the clear. They won't have to struggle to get in the spawn too much. A bomb comes through by the soldier, quickly denied. Power class will do that sometimes, and that will stop any of this. Back to point, it is for red. We're only one down. It's not too big a deal just yet, but maybe the will come out early. The other team is holding really close.
Part of having that NA demo man means they can do that NA forward hold. Twice will be aware of how to break it, and looks like they've just been able to at least push them back towards the midpoint now. And actually, Cannon's going to get taken out as well. So Twice, as they had, they do now have a advantage for Harry, and I think they'll be regrouping soon.
People finally get them cleared out from the point area. Point will stay nice and red. Harry coming up from Lever is exactly what they like to see, though, even if it wastes them a good minute. Maybe they can still make that time up later down the line, as long as this next push is good. Waited so long for it, needs to work in with a sniper down already. It does not start off very promising on the side of White. A.M.R holding strong for now. On the spy, maybe as well, for the biggest loss if they just keep hitting the snipes right there. Finsky with a really nice sniper, and a good surf at the end as well. Similarly so, not just the sniper, everyone else just gets away from this push. With 80% on Walker's gun already, they don't have to wait any time at all around to get the repush going. Nate, let's go right back into it.
Yeah, opportunity now here. Axio lurking in the back lines, looking for some kind of play. Just going to sap the teleporter at the moment. Neither team is fighting too much on the point. UG actually goes down. The Merc coming in on the scout class. As neither side, it's too aggressive in the fight now.
That should the point be in the blue once again, or for the first time really this round right now. Humphrey goes down late, but look at that. Flank doing some good damage, trades a couple more kills, Headshot still running through to keep themselves safe on the blue. However, Stimmers job keeping them in check, and the rest of the team seems to be cleaning up just nicely there. One more for the Scout and Demo Man to get this point going, and look at that, they also want to go a little bit aggressive. You were very far forward there, or the beam at least. Maybe they will push all the way in. Looks like it as well with Demo and Scout going this far aggressive. Yeah, Sammy makes a bomb out of it, just sees what's happening here. Clash comes in with that, but they need this mat kill. Water has to die, but instead of falling back to Sword, Water just dances around cliffside, tries to go into dodge things. Works for quite a while, but not for too long in the end. Matt will go down, but the rest of them are still standing, and with the kills they get, just surprising them going aggressive instead of falling back. Maybe they can still turn this around.
Yeah, just gone back because of how many players they lost, but at the moment Moro just happy to take the point. They don't want to overcommit. They're not really going for that frag onto Harry, and looks like those survivors from that last fight will regroup back on Cliff and look for a repush here.
See how this will work out for them. Might have to wait a second if they want to have Uber first before they go, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just make a good play to point before that's the case, and then just pop across once they're good to go here. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Already starting to take presence on the point, make themselves feel known as the team to aggress here just now as well. Keep the other team in check, and with the pick classes doing work on the flank, really both the spy and the soldier getting one each. Make that 2 for the spies, but actually gets another one. They have not even need to use this Uber as well, and that right here is exactly why you don't want to just wait for Ubers all the time. You can get so much stuff done, so if you just find a couple good opportunities here and there before the Ubers are, but now you can just extend from this position, and they're really trying to make this one work, but maybe they're asking for a little bit too much this time around as well. It will not be the medic going down. In fact, this time they do fall back instead of going back in, but they all get away for 2 on red, and everyone's out alive just fine, and right back in the second time round. And nice rocket by Monk, followed up by the Pyro, will get Harry caught in a really bad position.
Yeah, Harry was caught way too far forward there. The team wanted to go back. The team had basically given up the forward hold, but couldn't evacuate the medic out of there, and pretty much up to Kazuki to go in for some kind of play. One rocket down onto Water is going to force out. That's a relatively cheap force. Cap will come in here for Moro, but not too much time for Twice to work with, but that was a very, very important play from Kazuki.
Alright, KritzKast is down to red as the recap here makes the hold a little bit more annoying. Don't have the surprise factor of the insta-kills going around. In fact, opposite of that, Scrimmers gets the first snipe into this situation already, but Twice just has no chill anymore. They can't, right? They have to get a point quick. Play accordingly. More or less just lets them have it for the time being. Relaxes a little bit. Takes the time here. One more repush is all they need. Effectively, it is just overtime, in fact, for them. Anything that works towards point will be good enough right now. Better spawns will help with that as well. Also, if the sniper goes their way, they're both peeking, looking for each other quite early into this engagement, but it all goes well for Twice. Gets the stab there going as well. Scrimmers hits another nice shot on the back end of that as well. If the KritzKast keep doing the work that they are, then maybe they get away with this one. Bomb by Monk gets threateningly close to the medic, but Harry just about gets away with that. And once again, an Uber that did not do a whole lot. And the medic dies at the end of it as well. How does this keep getting worse?
Yeah, it looks like they could be able to salvage something with Harry going down out, no heals, and Uber pop very, very early by Wiethoofd, not risking the sightline whatsoever, but they don't need to get too much done here. Moro, they just need to stand on point, just need to cap it out. Lost a lot of players though. It's only really Cannon in that Uber who survives throughout all of it. It's still trying to battle on the point, but has no team to support him there.
That is a rough one. They had so much time. There was like 120 left when this recap happened from Blue, and this time has just been gone by in no time, quite frankly. And all of a sudden, they need to hold this for a tiny bit longer. The stab's already coming out. Axio cuts them off early here as the rest of the team plays it a little conservatively, trying to anyway, but falling back into Jerkers, gets the stab, gets a shot going. 2 down for the price of 1. And all Moro has to do is just outgame him a little bit longer. It just comes down to nothing at all other than the scout pistol to bring this back home, and somehow Moro clutches this one out.
Yeah, both teams barreling into butting heads at every opportunity, and whenever one team had the advantage, the other team somehow pulled the magic out of the hat, came straight back into it, and as you say, Moro had taken that first round, putting themselves in a nice position, but double overtime bodes for more competitive action.
We'll see how this develops from here. Remember last time we watched Twice play. They got a lot better over the course of the game, every single map. We'll see if they can do something similarly here once again. For now, certainly just a clean start. There was no contestation whatsoever. Everything they were trying to do works immediately. Beautiful start right there. Everyone gets the W they want, and the cap on top of that as well. A little bit of an advantage too on the medics. Not too much to worry about just yet, but what they will still have soon. But they gotta get out of spawn before that really matters as well, unless you want to use out of spawn. But that's not really how you want to play this, right? Harry in a bit of an awkward position, but yeah, actually has full knowledge of where anyone is. The second they rotate anywhere, they are fully aware of it as well. Flank class is trying to get to the medics here on both sides of the fight. Everyone's getting away with it for now, but Harry will eventually just pop the Uber into the enemy's position at the right-hand door, their perspective, trying to just get in there nice and quickly. Force an exchange on a bit of an awkward position for Moro. And I mean, with how much aggressive pushing, more so than forward holding almost we've seen so far, I guess it's not surprising. Twice does not want to give the opponents any space on the map at all.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't super confident with Harry having to play in that corner, but just about worked out. And a nice trap there from Sabi, finding Cannon as he tries to aggress onto the point to follow up on Mong's bomb. Neither working out there. It's going to be back down to the combo, but at the moment it's Axio providing a nuisance on top of this cliff that somehow going to pick up a sandwich that was there for him. Not exactly sure why that was from China, but he's steal it away.
Yeah, medic will go down, and that just turns the fight around immediately. In fact, as that happened, Jerker still farms some kills on the back of the pistol. Gets even more going. That might be the sniper going down as well, not quite just yet. But quite frankly, who cares? They get everything they wanted. Can nicely delay for spawn there as well, just in time. Water gets the good spawn still. And then it's the red timer finally ticking down. Very different story already, halfway through the round timer for Twice, and Moro far behind still. Very different from last round where they had the early lead the entire time. Now forced to make work of what little they have, and it's really not much actually, because they don't even have Uber at the end of all this as well. Might lose a couple players here as well. Smiley's going down. The rest of the team sits back in the meantime, looking what's up, but the rest of the push for Blue just about to start. Just now Spy Sniper already perching from both directions of the fight as well, looking what they can find here. Some decent bit of damage. No kills just yet, but if there's any more of that coming in, they just fall back, can't defend point that right here, and this point will just flip pretty quick.
Oh, nice stab onto Humphrey from Axio, who's distracted, looking at Kazuki coming in from the front, and now no demo man, no spam coming onto the point. Players are trying to walk onto it, but everyone is just taking an absolute pounding at the moment for Twice. Sammy is desperately trying to be kept alive by his medic beam and arrow onto him, but still goes down. Cannon with the scattergun claiming that frag, and nice rockets from Kazuki do find Yorn, and now he's going to have an opportunity with no reflex to worry about.
Yeah, it does make things a lot easier. He's still stuck up in a couple of people in random places. Soto suddenly will not get the medic. Similarly, so the scout on the other side could not quite clean up the heavy as well. It takes so much longer to actually get the kill onto Dastron there, but at this point, it's really just trading 1-for-1. That's not too bad on defense, even if Dastron will be down for a little bit longer. Still, if they can just keep defending, this might be nice. Needless to say, Twice quick on the regression here. Put the heavy on the point, see what sort of reaction they can force out of this one, and it's really good damage coming across that as well. Doesn't just sit on point here, do in fact force Evo with this one too. Harry quickly responds with their own, but in a pretty rough position. They can't really chase too much. It's enough to keep the point alive for now. But the red team will be back though as the time ticks on here. Twice is just getting a bigger and bigger lead once again.
Yeah, Kazuki seems to have a really good read in terms of where that heavy is. Whenever he's not up on cliff, Kazuki's just bombing straight on top of it. It's really hard to deal with that soldier playing from that high ground position. So maybe Dastron is going to have to rotate back over to that cliffside and play above his medic a little bit more. But at the moment, Kazuki really making the most of that space.
Yeah, almost got the med kill there as well. Actually, he got like one good crit shot going on the medic that doesn't quite kill. Immediately calls the bomb as well. Still barely too late. The coordination is there, the timing just a little too late, unfortunately, for the rest of the team to work off here as well. Harry just gets sniped out of nowhere. That's what you like to see. Sniper class immediately with the game changer. And that's what Moro needs so that should come back. They're a minute behind just now. All these kills trickling in really quickly once the heals disappear for the team in blue. Cannot sustain any more fight, and with this many people down, there's just no threat of a quick bomb coming through as well. No soldier, no demo man especially. Means you can just set up the hold nice and cozy before you really have to worry about the next blue play coming through towards your combo. But they're up alive again now. Picklass is already lurking. Anyone that could jump certainly will try if they need to here as well. Moro with a tough task ahead of them as the final minute of theirs begins now as well, and they're already getting some kills, so it's going not so bad at all here.
Yeah, Funsky was finally starting to get going there, but an important stab by Axio is going to end that a little bit preemptively. Actually, an attempt from the Uber coming in, but launched ends up into a revved Smith shot heavy and be cleaned up immediately, and really Moro not getting anything that they wanted. Is going to be very easy here for Twice to claim the I imagine they'll be looking to get straight back into that forward hold.
Yeah, I mean, that's been kind of what they like to have been doing the entire time they had a big advantage going into a point push like this, so it's surprising to see them sit this reserve on point right now, right, when you really just want to make sure they never touch this point again and even touch out any overtime to begin with. But they're giving them the chance at least. They want to just heal up a little bit, put themselves in a safe position at the very least. See if he gets water. Picklass is down already. This huge Uber comes out as well from the blue team. They just need Soul to the damage out of this one to be enough at this rate as well. The bombs are coming through, looking for what they can catch. There will be overtime here. They did not kill anyone. Everyone's kind of weak on red. It's not going to be enough that they get a couple of seconds more to get back to point. But look, they're just waiting for them having a point, let alone the rest of the team with them mow everything down. And Twice claims second round. Still very close, but looking a good bit better there, especially at the beginning.
Yep, roaring back to 1-1, even Stevens now, and Twice certainly as they took that first kind of minute and a half off that single midfight, will be looking for a powerful midfight once more.
See what they can follow to the backs again for this midfight. Last one was a huge win for the side of Twice. This time around starting off good already. First kill goes their way. Monk caught on the back lines, can't really get the soldier flank going they wanted, and with 2 down already, the red team just has no chance. Matt tries to help out up front, but yeah, with people dying in front of you like this, you can't go anywhere, and if the heals aren't forward, how is anyone else supposed to keep fighting up in the front lines? At least some snipes hit late, and that might still work out. Spawns are coming back for them, and before they've lost the point in the midst of this fight alone, they can maybe just make a repush happen before it's really a loss of anything. It might be late to cap here, but I guess that's still better in some ways than letting your opponent get the first cap anyway. However, it's looking too tough though. They had a chance to repush there, couldn't take any position. Twice making damn sure they have good point control there, despite the snipes coming through, and it works out brilliantly for them.
Yeah, and Water being forced back early means there is a bit of an advantage for Harry to work with it as it elapsed, but actually Kazuki just goes in, sees that opportunity. No one was looking for him, no one was expecting that counter-aggression coming in so quickly, and he takes Water down.
Yeah, works just fine. There was a spy play at the same time as well. You said no one was looking. They were looking at the wrong thing. It seems like always so easy to want to just take down the spy early, because what are you going to do? Turn around, ignore him, kill someone else, and get insta-killed? Can't do that either, but that's why the second play needs to come in. And once again, great timing from Soldier. Kazuki will do exactly that. And now the good position just got even better. I don't know what that Humphrey bomb was. I guess we blame Ping on that one. That did not go anywhere. The Devilman and Soldier will go down with not much of any impact. Spy similarly, such no luck. And it's looking really good for Twice, a minute lead already, and before the Super's even up, we already passed the 130 mark at this point.
Yeah, they're looking to thinking about going forward on the point at the moment, going to get their medic up in that caution area, which has to play there just to avoid a couple of sides. They're actually going to rotate back more towards the point, and yeah, everyone's just so far back at the moment for Moro. Can't get any purchase, can't get any space, and there's just a complete stuffing at the moment from this aggressive Twice player.
Alright, Harry taking a bit of damage, but as long as the rest of the team will defend them, even with a couple losses, they still can get some more time squeezed out of this cap that they have currently. Still waiting for response this long, needs to be punished. Moro instantly getting at a point when there's a bit of the opportunity. They can't afford to fall apart much more than this round has for them so far. So exchange towards point is the plan. Gets the blue ball surprisingly quick as well in the mix of all this, and a lot of cap time with that too, forcing Twice to just now make the decision. How far are they willing to go to defend this point? A little bit longer. They're taking some good damage already. Harry catching some 60 there across the point as well. It's scary, but it's enough presence from the blue team still, despite all that. Keep the point safe. Get the Pyro, get the Devilman, keep the point here for such a long time. Skyfox really wants this cap time, but just more damage coming for the longest time that eventually with 4 down it takes all that to make Twice fall back finally.
Yeah, and for the first time we see a kind of stabilization here for Moro. They're going to have the point, they're going to have the hold. Maybe basically even he was looking to get Funsky buffed up and in some kind of position, but isn't going to have the heals on him quickly enough, and Scrimmage is able to win the SVS, opening up these many sight lines.
Oh, 2 nice plays there at the same time. Spy on one side, got the Devilman, and the other side the bomb for the Force comes out as well. Changes dynamics here, because as much as they wanted the Force, without the Devilman, they have a lot harder time to actually make the use of it as well. Also, a bomb by Kazuki sticks the landing just about. Yawn busy reflecting, I think, 10 other projectiles coming from up front of a point. Couldn't turn around in time to deal with the Soldier as well as that happens. And Twice puts it all nicely together there in the end of just very unfortunate for Moro, put upon themselves really more than anything. And suddenly it's back in blue control here, not even getting a minute off their clock just yet. Twice just needs 30 seconds. With a big Uber advantage as well in hand. It's looking pretty good, but more up against time now. Needs to just play quick, and they're doing exactly that here. Bombs across, good damage by the Soldier. Rest of the team on to point with that immediately as well to just follow up a little bit more on that. Heavy Devilman doing good work there, gets the cap going eventually. Didn't bleed too much, 14 seconds left. There's not a lot of room for error, but at least they got the second chance.
Yeah, they've brought us back into it, but it is quite a long deficit that they are seeing for their team at the moment. Just rotated the hold just a little bit. Everyone playing behind Rock now, not utilising the caution that they had been earlier, that had been so ably dealt with. But an Uber coming across now from Twice.
Get the Uber across the point. They were not very well. One good push could decide it all here as well. But this will not be doing enough damage just yet for the blue team to really get much of anywhere. No space taken just yet. Pyro down still helps a lot. Can't understate the Soldier Devilman will have just an easy time getting damage across, and they start re-pushing now. They have a Soldier behind as well to really make the damage stick as well. Humphrey in a really bad position on the one side. Everyone on point, Heavy mowing down the damage on the Captain Stephanias, but the Soldier that will in fact take down that player, and all of a sudden this is just wide open for the taking. Might delay for Scrimmers? No, they're letting Scrimmers take the 3-second respawn penalty there in the end, but I guess they're really confident even as it stands. There's barely any time left as well. 5 seconds left, he's ticking down already. Moro knows they have to get on point. They even barely have the time to get there as well, and it just makes them so vulnerable, all jumping right in front of a Heavy and a Scout that were waiting for them on point.
Yeah, Twice just doing what they need. And again, it's Kazuki opening so many things up, just piercing that defense, getting onto China this time, separating the demo man from the medic. And, you know, Humphrey just had to continue looking forward, continue blocking the point, but had no support and nothing was stopping those rockets coming at him.
And there we go, Twice from barely losing a round, barely winning a round, convincingly winning round 3. Maybe it's all coming together slowly but surely this game here as well. Kazuki once again in the right place at the right time, gets that kill going, nice and easy. And you know, done yet as well, more damage coming through, everything is just terrifying for the red combo, it feels like as well. And eventually, once again, the spike comes through, distracts it for 1 second, and every time Axio strikes, Kazuki is just following up on it.
Yeah, they can't deal with Kazuki at all at the moment. They have to rotate Dastron back up onto that cliff at the moment. So much work is being done. This is... If you're going to end up playing in Premiership, you have to be able to adapt on the fly, and at the moment they're a little bit clueless to that threat.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt them so much, and Twice once again with the power position from here on out. Timer ticking down for them, Uber up already. Moro, like you said, forced to figure things out quickly now, because the chances for error are just gone, and they're still making mistakes anyway. Bomb beautifully flies past the Pyro. Yon did not see that one coming at all, and that mistake will get greatly punished once again. I mean, you gave a man of the match, I think, last time already, and we just want that title every game, I feel like.
Twice, but having way more impact than anyone else for sure, and just being an absolute menace every time they want to push from this kind of cliffside area. They're just getting destroyed. This time it's Axio dropping down from cliff, getting that frag under Funsky, and he's not having a fun time whatsoever.
Yeah, the Uber will eventually come out here. That's at least a silver lining, and still having a soldier behind could cause problems, so looking for that one actively, but there's always so much effort you need to put into the backlines there, while still making sure the front lines are staying safe as well. And in the meantime, that's just a bit of a lopsided affair, because while Mong is having a bit of freedom here, it looks like no one really gets on point in the meantime either. No point pressure at all while the soldier play was happening. With soldier down now as well, you just waste a lot of time not still getting anything done. And already fallen behind half the blue timer, Twice most the way there to win this map. Pipes flying still as well, they're not holding back too much, have the soldier spam and the demo spam from both directions. Spike comes in at the same time, so much work to do for Moro just to even sit by the point, even without even touching it just yet, and it still is not working at all, because once they're looking back for the soldier, the pipes are coming in.
Yeah, they only to move on and get the sniper. While that was happening, a stray long-range lock and load pipe from just drop water after all the damage had already been done by that first rocket, and that is exactly opposite of what Moro needed, and now it is a very, very big backs against the wall situation.
Yeah, they're running out of resources here rapidly, time being the most important one, but even Uber is just not there yet, and the opponents will make them feel that difference here just now of the 100% to 0. Going with the chart, getting 3 kills, not the biggest Uber just yet, but just keeps them in the positions locked a little bit longer there as well. Mong might take a late death there as well, and the more you die, like one at a time in different spawn waves, the worse it gets, because now Mong is up in 5 seconds, but they're still missing Humphrey, Dastron, and the medic as well for so much longer. And how is anyone going to make progress when there are never 9 people at the same time getting anywhere close to point?
That is just brutal. Looked like they'd finally dealt with the soldier, but peeking out through that main, thinking you're safe, but you're not safe when that sniper boxes sightline immediately domes water, and now it looks like we might need for a full shutout wall needs for Moro to put something on the board here.
And that will be a little bit of overtime here. They're just forcing upon themselves really by just jumping on point as quickly as they did. Getting the cap even as well, but look at Perry. They might be in no close position to them on the wrong side of town, but they have the overcharge to still get back in here anyway, and that might just be all they need as well. The sniper had no idea what was happening as well. No one was looking behind. They just disappeared and reappear all together behind them, like the whole team is a spy. And one little funny applause later, it is all over.
Yeah, I mean, almost toying with them at that stage Twice, just having combo players behind, having a soldier flying in from the side. There were just so many threats from so many different angles. Moro had no answer, and a very, very devastating comeback from Twice on this map, and they just seem to adapt and seem to figure out exactly how they needed to play and find all the answers there. Twice, very, very impressive stuff.
Yeah, that's a quality they need to have against the other teams who we all know are really, really strong in Premiership as well. If that was lacking at all this preseason, I had my worries about their chances to even get close to playoffs. But with what we're seeing here right now, this could still really go places this season. And for what it's worth, they're almost guaranteed for the Premiership season at this point. They just need one more map win in the next two. And with a performance like this looks very doable. Looks like they are ready to go now here on Payload. Vigil up to 3 rounds of this to decide who wins it. Can't just sack one win on Payload here in Europe. You could actually earn the win in the best of 3 yourself.
Yep. We've got some crit stickies here tonight. Item servers are back. We have unlocks available. And Sammy, with Twice starting off with a different Sammy, is just going to some stickies every which way around all the entrances and see if he can get himself a cheeky kill.
It was very funny seeing people cry about the item servers, I will say. I would have loved to have seen a relevant game without it. But I feel like at that point they might appreciate it, so maybe it's better this way. Certainly it will be more competitive this way as well, because everyone can use the strategies they're most familiar with, and ultimately that's what you want, people performing at their best, so you can really see who will deserve the win in the end, who has everything put together the way they need to. Looking good for Moro so far tonight, but not for Twice tonight, but Moro still has a chance to bring this one back and maybe turn this back around here, starting off on offense themselves, setting up the time for their opponents to beat. We'll see what that entails. For what it's worth, already changed from what we've seen last time we've seen Vigil. Just matter of spawn instantly.
Yep, going straight out water onto the corner, health back if needed, but at the moment everyone just trying to peek up top of the hill and pretty passive at the moment from Twice. Kazuki just building up a decent amount of battalions back up, and actually a bomb coming in from Mong. It's going to get one rocket in on to Sammy, but Matsu with a really, really nice reflect.
Yeah, keeps everything in check a little bit. Card time is quite slowed down without all of these people. Sure, the scout's still there, but if the scout doesn't have anyone protecting them from just every bit of incoming damage, as you can see right here, spawn's not there yet. The scout tries to get on card, and there's no one stopping anyone from shooting that thing. Bombed across by Mom. Well, Harry is just all the way in. Twice wants to do a funny one, using the Uber there, I think, but just got clowned on themselves instead.
Yeah, very risky to take your medic forward at that fence and pay the price for it there Twice. As I say, probably wanted to go for some kind of crazy aggressive Uber that Moro wouldn't have been expecting, but it tends that it was actually Harry that wasn't expecting that soldier to end up flying into his face.
Yeah, they're trying everything they can to hold this together. Trading heavies is, I mean, could be worse, I guess, but it needs to be a whole lot better still in the end, because Weaver is up and coming. They're not doing it as quick as a team like Payload does from tunnel, but they still want to get the push from down here going anywhere, and there we go. Damage across the point, or rather on top of the hill here to get towards the combo. Gun goes down, rest of the combo hiding in the house, but they're actually staying alive. Uber ends just as Sammy is ready to get a million sticks all around the combo. Demo, Soldier, and Tara all falling in one battle swoop just before the card goes too close to point, and they actually get a second chance out of this one.
Yep, seems that Twice have been able to just stabilize the guy. To work with. We'll see if Sammy wants to risk what this time or not. At the moment, just end up a kind of default hold, getting their sniper position. Sacco from Monk is actually going to go way in behind, but gone down to a very, very small amount of health and will be cleaned up.
There we go. Sniper Skirmish goes their favor as well. Maybe a bit more resistance now with no sniper to worry about as well. Skirmish certainly makes that lag from enemy sideline felt immediately. It hits just shot after shot there. Kills slowly trickling in with that too, and that might just be enough to keep the second hold alive. And mind you, in the last match we've seen Twice on this map, second point has been the pivotal one. It's not necessarily surprising on this map, but the degree of which certainly was very, very outstanding for that match. How much second mattered, and Moro similarly still struggling with it for quite some time. Finally, Uber comes out, immediately losing two. Does not bode well though, as the Red Uber just can follow them all the way back down the cliffside here, back towards first, and maybe chase a bit more as well. Pyro Soldier at the same time, jumping in, get the damage across. Sammy, however, decides to just steal that kill just before either of them can actually do anything. And frankly, kind of also leaves both of them to die there. They wanted this kill maybe a bit too bad, and suddenly they're down this many as well.
Yeah, went really deep chasing. They got the medic, they put a ton of frags, but the teleporter was still active from Blair. and players crucially came into their teleport. Harry's going to be caught as well. Really good transition. He's very, very weak, but Yorn is going to land on top of him. Going to double up with that skirmish frag as well. Twice just not falling back quickly enough, not getting themselves into safe position towards spawn and paying the price.
Yeah, that will be just about enough here for Moro. It wasn't pretty, but frankly, I've seen worse this week on second, so I gotta just pull it together from here. 4 minutes won't be nice, but it could still be far from terrible if they just make this advantage counter. That's what really matters here. As much as they struggled on second, they at least have UAD from here on out still to use. Card slowly rolling up. Spy on the medic. Should be fine. Moro on their own spy come back to save the data as well, but still Water took a lot of damage and they just decide, okay, well, we're just going with this immediately. Nice little air shot there. Does look a little ugly in the end. It does give them a kill to work with at least, but still down to quite a few after this Uber. However, struggled actually taking position. Every kill they got was really far away from the end of the slope here, so they're still sitting down the slope right now with not much space taken despite having good numbers.
Yeah, if the car's a little bit closer, this would be very, very easy because Kazuki and Sammy are still in the respawn queue. It's all up to Smith Shot to try and block it in. Actually see this SMG coming out from Scrimmers, but probably a little bit overcommitting. Smith, XC Red, Scrimmers all going down, and the cap will come in for Moro.
One more bomb coming from by Kazuki and just past the Moro once again. And Yawn once more is just too late to save the day. Water will go down, and the second thing starting to do it nicely, right? It's up 1 minute. Third point sounds promising. It's just shattered dreams once again here into last. How do you come back from this one? You need something quick and decisive onto this medic here. The bombs are looking into becoming a hot. Already onto the medic. Eats one rocket. That woman can't get close. Neither can the heavy, and that's just not enough presence in the end.
Oh, Humphrey isn't able to get in onto last. I think they wanted to make some kind of sack play happen, but not working out at the moment. Red Room take control, getting taken over. It's going to be Hugi and Kazuki looking to go back in this. Sammy's committing as well, but it's the sniper Funsky peeking in from main, who might be the biggest threat right now.
See what plans they have for the long term here now. You have to plan for long term here at this point. Didn't work first try, you gotta figure out something else. Try to rotate around instead, take the big angle on the main door, but that one gets watched. Scrimmers knows where to look for these, finds one more kill right away still. Gotta keep trying a little bit, gotta get some presence going. What better way to do that than just taking the flank while you have the chance to do just that. See what damage they can get in from that. They're trying to rotate a little bit, get that presence known on the red side as well, but look at that. Makes them overextend to the sideline here a little bit, but ooh, the exchange comes through as well. Both teams deciding to use Ubers to deny each other any more space they try to take here. There's very mixed results of that. Most combos just completely gone after the exchange. And it might just be better still for the defense somehow. Worse spawns hurts, of course, but Moro also left all the way, so they still aren't contesting all too deeply into last and give them the time to wait for respawns.
Yeah, gonna have to regroup. Look to Cress from Red Room, Humphrey peeking in. There's a lot of players from them blobbed up. Big Monk coming in, getting a ton of damage, and Yugi and Sammy both taken out. Those are big impact fragging classes for the defense. The car is still not super close, but there's not too many players to defend at the moment.
Yeah, we come with all the damage as well at the same time. Bomb comes through on one side, everyone else sticking on the cart. Like the glue to it, they need that cap time here. Monk's Bomb opened this up quite nicely in the end, but this might still not be enough to take the presence they wanted. Lose a couple people very late into the whole scenario here. It got up the slope, but it might just still not be enough. Both demos in some trouble there. It looks like Humphrey will be the only one dying in the end. And once again, they're just all out of this last point once more, and in a few seconds, this cart will roll down the slope again as well.
Yep, starting to roll back just about. Don't see anyone in position to go for it. Certainly Diokat was trying, but will get down that slope despite Smith being headshot. Plague now coming in from Mom. Mostly denied, but Matchton have both gone down there. Having to force the Uber out, but it's just about had the car tapped right back up onto the top of that slope.
There's a lot of people dead for quite some time there, but eventually these respawns will just come back in. They're trying to beat them out to the punch here just a bit. The good damage by the last few players trickling in from the blue team up to point, but as the spawns coming through, it's just a fight for survival. They know they have to block this. You can't sit back much more on twice and just have to get on the cart, but they might just get enough damage to make it count there in the end, just barely. There's one more wave of people coming through, and that's just about enough. Yuji not on the cart at the end. And that's gonna do it. 823 isn't pretty, but I mean, if you lost half that on second alone, then you gotta make up for it somewhere.
Yeah, it ends up being a pretty good time for Twice overall. They certainly had some issues. You know, they were just playing balls to the wall aggressive, and at times paid for it, at times did get punished. It always seemed like Moro were on the back foot. They were always a little bit discombobulated, a little bit disorganized, and yeah, the aggression from Twice is a different level to what we've seen in any of these other games in the qualifiers.
Yeah, really need to make that shown right now themselves here. I mean, like you said, we've seen this aggression not just in different games, but also on different maps just earlier, right? On Product, even they like to be going aggressive whenever they chance to. Now that they're really much just forced to take the offensive as well, I'm sure we'll see something very nice out of them here as well, and make this be hopefully faster than this is as well, because quite frankly, we've seen them have worse times this week as well on these maps at this level of play, so you never know. Second's been a problem this weekend, or this weekend. It's been a bit weird in that regard. Surely they've learned a lesson though.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of slow payload times in general, so 822 isn't anything crazy. Funski is immediately going to win that sniper versus slipper. Not going to slow Scrimus down too much, just 3 seconds before he respawns, but that is, you know, at least 1 for Dogs and 1 for the book in terms of asserting some dominance in that sniper versus sniper.
Alright, tame start as per usual on this first point just now. Always interesting to see if the medics are out of spawn early this time around. Once again, the answer is yes. Harry with the beam forward once more. Granted, they might have had some bad history just now this map already, with Harry being out in the open on first just earlier, but the scenario is a little bit different now as well. Maybe on offense it will just be fine. For the time being though, the damage is really good by Moro instead, despite the other team having the beam with them.
Yeah, seeing Twice playing a little bit passive at the moment, just wanted to get healed up, wanted to get buffed up. Now Kazuki going in for some kind of bomb, just launches himself in the air a long way, knocks Blair back and pins everyone really quite far back, no one to block the cart. Smith's just going to put his 450 health body on top of it, and no one is there to even contest.
That's going to be a point right there. Nice and quick, 7 more minutes for the rest of the map. Sounds very, very doable here. What is the option? You know, we're seeing that lower tunnel entrance push from Twice as well. For what it's worth, they're waiting until they have the card in a better position, but also sending a bomb in first, gets the dispenser down if nothing else, but Water still just fine even after that late NG sack as well. Terrifying everyone every time you see just an NG appear in front of a medic out of nowhere. Just somehow sneaking up on them, but it does not escalate, luckily.
Yeah, it's literally only Yawn looking at that engineer. If he'd hit a couple more shots, it could have been a bit dicey for Water, but Banner is now out for Monk. Battalion's back up against that blue Uber, but it's going to be met in part by Water popping her Uber out for Moro, looking to continue contesting this top area, but Sammy's been able to swivel his way back in. Didn't use too many stickies, is a little bit more loaded than Humphrey, I imagine, this fight, and has Hugie, and now Kazuki in for a big bomb. Water has to surf out of there, but that's going to take the heals out, and look how many players Moro are down.
Yeah, the fact that the med lives that is a miracle in and of itself, really, at this rate, but without those heals from the med getting out in time, it just means no one has any chance of survival against an offense as well put together. This one will just take down everything left in their path, gets the second point going in a significantly better time than we've seen in many other games, so wraps us up nice and quick on that point, and now all steam ahead on the rest of this one. First of all, it's point number 3 on the map, with advantage still in hand. Sounds good. It's not the largest advantage ever, so if you don't get some good results quick, you still have to worry about Water getting somewhere in the middle of this next fight.
Yeah, again, high bomb in from Kazuki is going to land straight on top of Yawn, this time with a perfect reflect to take him out. Uber's out for Twice. They found that heavy that was hiding around the corner, but the block's a little bit slow here, but Moro finally launching themselves in, and Mong with a really nice wrap takes out Harry as the Uber fades for the Twice boys, and it's a little bit scrappier. A few casualties here for Moro, but it looks like they've been able to block just about in time.
That will slow things down quite nicely. That's exactly what Moro needs to see a lot more of at this rate. Bring this back into small little advantage certainly helps out of this whole scenario as well. Just have the comfort knowledge that they will just not have before you do, even if you want to play Thief and Arrow too, maybe even at this point. So that all sounds very promising, but they've got to make sure to keep themselves alive, eating a lot of damage there. Barely anyone has a buff on the defense, let alone all alive, and with the sniper down especially. There's just a lot more freedom you can take, getting some damage forward across this little gap being put between each other, down in the trenches on the tracks. And they're trying to make as much use of that as they can here. It's what the spam classes, solo demomen especially, have to just make that damage come through to still make that distance be tough to cover as well. They're going point instead, trying to just get some cap time going. Will not similarly so go well. In fact, won't go anywhere just yet. Stuck on the slope entrance for the time being. It's exactly what you'd like to see here, but it will just delay things until he was here, and then it's really go time for Twice, who just want to force them out of the little comfy hold in the back.
Wrangled level 1 by equalizes, doing a lot of work. The Uber trade comes into a decent spot for Twice, were it not for the battalion's backup. Is now got a monster forward from Mong, but basically just off back by Matt, doing a great job on top of the point, and will cap it out. And now the chase is on. An engineer, equalizes once more chasing deep, but doesn't find any value for it.
Alright, well, 3.5 minutes sounds like plenty of time, and it really should be to get this point going. But last points on payload maps very often can cause trouble to some teams. Twice can't let that happen to themselves just now. Certainly, I mean, they don't have to wait too long for the Uber. It won't be a big advantage or anything like that, but at least they have that chance to play with already. In fact, though, they're opting differently. Try to get a sack wave going instead, but no one's really going much of anywhere. Will just fall apart before much of any action really happens in the end. No one can take any position whatsoever in the mix of all this as well. But Soldier looking to get a battalion's backup up any moment now. Like 1 or 2 rockets will do that. In fact, there it is. Have the battalions up as well. And the Horn immediately comes out just to make sure that they have a lot easier stay here across this overcharge.
Yeah, that's again. Yeah, the battalion's back coming out during the Uber trade. And actually, I think Humphreys over-committed there into that red room. Didn't expect that. Hiding around that corner. Smith shot gets important frags onto combo members. He's still uncontested, still has the beam on top of him. He's just going to continue to W forward, look for any targets while the Pyro and medic of Harry cap out the round. It looks like there's a desperate tempo front ski to block, but that's going to be all she runs. Put themselves in a match point position.
Yeah, that was just about a 6 minutes time. Nothing crazy, but certainly competent by all means here. No excuses now, you just gotta make it work with what you have, and that's the scenario exactly that fighting themselves into. They put themselves here, they wanted to see their chances in the Premiership. They've got close so far, but this first shot in winners is now on the line. And quite frankly, only for the opponents in reach up until they finally win a round on Vigil.
Yep, KritzKast, once more Humphrey is going to be the one putting them up this time. And basically the same spots that Sammy was using. I guess there's one inside the door house, but nothing spectacular. Just to see how this time Twice defuse them.
Alright, last few seconds of setup coming through. Nothing too extraordinary on the offense or defense yet to see. Choices, I suppose. Gun is in like the most standard spot of all time, quite frankly. We'll see if it matters or not. I mean, for what it's worth, the other day, right, seeing the guns far back didn't even matter against the bombs from behind, so actually doesn't make a difference where this gun is, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be Funsky this time, opening things up on the defensive sniper, popping Yuji's scout head, and probably won't slow the car down too much at the moment. It's actually the combo from Twice is just going to be smuggling that along. Spam coming in, but no one really putting themselves out there. Trying to get Scrimmers actually down the flank here. There is Jerkus spotting him out, and Cannon gets caught as well by Sammy.
Are we going to see any other weird choices come out of this one here right now? High bomb comes through, what rest of damage comes through just to make sure this gun goes away. And with the stabs at the same time, this is actually not just good, this is fantastic for Twice. All eyes on the demo and the soldier advancing there. No eyes on Axe, getting all this damage across the board here in the meantime. And with this many people down, they can certainly get some good foothold on second already. And the bomb on the medic, in fact, will work immediately.
Yeah, utilizing those frags that they got on first, and absolutely more and more paying for it, because you can just see an opportunity, not even waiting for his partner in crime, Sammy, to come in, just seeing the bomb and landing perfectly to drop water.
And there we go. That's gonna be the cap right there. Alright. Nice little stickies there on the scouts as well. Cannon having a bit of a tough break over there as well. Battalion comes out just to make sure they even have this little ground they have right now. But as much as it keeps them alive, it doesn't do anything else. They just sit back and stay there, I guess. Moro can't really get much more going with this. No damage, much of anything. Twice just waits it out. Gets deeper going and goes for round 2 on the attempt to get across the point here. I assume this one will just go in with Debo as well. I mean, the exchange last time looked very threatening, so I feel like this round they won't mix it up too much.
Yeah, trying to move through flag, but actually the Uber just coming straight back in through main. Sammy taking the chunk of it, not too much support, tapping the cart hugely while that's all happening, but mostly just an exchange to get the Ubers out of the way. Axio is caught as well, but I imagine there's going to be pressure on the cart coming in immediately.
Okay, Cart's already up to slope off of that little bit of engagement there as well. And that just puts you in such a bad position. They pop the battalions to make it a bit easier, but even then, Mong just can't just go in against like everyone at the same time, let alone if you react late like we just saw here. You still just lose so much cap time as well, and this is just a touch away from going to the point. And how much are you willing to risk more bodies for that? They lose a soldier, they put the heavy all the way on it as well just to hope for some extra time on this third point, but it looks like it's slowly escaping them here. Falling back, Mats through spawn, at least gets back out alive. Half the team not so lucky on Moro. And Lux has run out maybe more ways than one, because they're back to last 3 minutes in for 3 points. Looks really good for the old scoreboard already on twice, and one more push and they might have this in the bag.
Yeah, this is a good pace for sure, exactly what they would have wanted. Don't want to come... it can sometimes be difficult to make this last push happen. And that good news for Moro that stable races, they do have a hold, they do have a sentry gun, and they do have an Uber should they need.
Yeah, everything might just be coming a bit for them here as well. Do have to wait for Sammy. Use the demo man before the push really starts. Slow things down. Doesn't at least hurt chances on the actual push coming up too much. Just moves it back a little bit, and they have a bit of time to spare. So be it, this is not a 4-minute time flat, I guess. If it's still a sub 5, you're probably more than happy if this push just works out first try. Squaring up here together, everyone's buffed up as well. Where are we going is the question at this point. And just a quick entrance from the main area seems to be the answer here. Soldier, Demoman in with the Uber charge, gets the bomb across, trying to get water there, but between the dispenser and battalion's defense as well. It's tough to get much damage going, and they don't have to use it all, actually.
Yeah, this time actually fully utilizing the battalion's backup to, as you say, hold on, able to milk it, able to utilize that kind of mini Uber itself as the defensive prospect. And suddenly Moro looking a little bit more solid, and perhaps we'll see a sack away for a but just pressure from outside, trying to get Scrimmers into a spot, and there we go, a headshot into the horn.
Yeah, 2 people down. And immediately the threat is on. They will use very early to this as well. Didn't have much sight, I think, behind the dispenser and the crate, so pop early to see what they can eliminate in time. But it's really just Savvy that actually made a big entrance in that one. Very confidently so, maybe as well. Made himself act like he was the whole team, but it was just the one guy that they used into, and in the end, they got that one guy and nothing else. And all of a sudden, Harry, with huge advantage out of nowhere, is just able to get this whole team in fairly easily, you will hope.
Oh, Monk is able to force and use the banner as he escapes as well. Very, very nice stuff from him. Not too much found with the Uber, and Monk's going to jump back in. Still has a little bit of that tail end of that banner. And at the moment, Twice really find nothing with that Uber. And it's going to be up to Moro here to reset.
Chad, can you tell which team just was invincible in this fight? 90% do not notice. But it might have not been the team that had everyone survive as opposed to somehow Twice. Just going in, seeing them walk away from them, and then just all suddenly die out of nowhere. Completely falls apart for the team in blue. They're switching to KritzKast. They want to change things up a little bit. I don't know if this is the answer, but it's certainly an option.
I mean, normally I would say it makes sense to swap to crits when you're in this kind of situation, but when you're dealing with Battalion's backup, the Battalion's backup is probably the single best counter to crits in the game. So interesting that they would opt to it, despite how impactful Monk has been with that banner.
Can Spice see Battalion charge? Like, they can see Never mind, they're not seeing anything. They're just sitting behind their wall. twiddling their thumbs, unaware of what's to come. And oh boy, did it.
Well, the Spies can see the crit, but as you said, they were not aware of that, and there we go. Sammy with that clutch sticky is the alpha sticky taking out the combo, and there we go. That was exactly what they needed. It ends up with a good time of 6:44.
A couple of seconds worse than last round's performance, I suppose, and that was just a hickey one last, I suppose, as well. The rest was very much own pace to be even better than that. Unfortunately for them, we'll lose a bit of time there. Still, beats out the 8 we've seen for Moro. They are now very much forced to step up their game big time. They still need to do, what, a minute 20 faster than this right now to even beat out anything to clutch out round 3. That would be still a big step up to performance compared to round 1's time, so a lot to ask for Moro, but I mean, it's the only chance they have, really, this game still.
Yep, they are in desperate need of a turnaround in performance here. Moro, they have to cap this out in 6:44 to keep their at least upper brackets hope alive. And I think Twice can smell it at this stage. They can smell Prem. Just need one decent defense, and they will be confirmed themselves.
You know what it is as well? They were in the situation. The KritzKast was not even coming up really much before Harry. They had the battalions up as well. Why would they switch to KritzKast? Like you said, it's not the thing you would expect to see there. And maybe that's why it's genius.
Yeah, talking of KritzKast, the crit stickies from Sammy, 7 of them stacked on cart. Was able to take out Cannon and Yawn. And Mong went in for a bomb throughout all of that, but he was absolutely crushed as well.
That saves a whole 2 seconds right there, just wasting people's time to have to get on cart while the scout is down as well. Might add up, we'll see. Beyond those 2 seconds they just got, there's still a whole 6 minutes left to go now that you somehow need to waste away quite quickly, if at all possible. And with you already gone, actually, in the red team, maybe this is what they tried to do last time.
Yeah, this
like
time
getting pushed going, it just didn't do anything though, in a much different way at least.
Yeah, I was holding forward aggressively under, but Long had his nut, he knew his positioning and was able to get a very, very easy drop on, but still not good news for Twice. It doesn't matter too much, I guess, as long as they defend a little bit longer on this first point, and they're already up at 60%, so they'll probably have an Uber ready to go for second, but they just have to be a little bit careful.
Alright, oh, where's Harry going? Why are we taking the exit in front of the soldier bombing us? Somehow gets away with it, really just asking for trouble on this one, but everyone, I guess, wants to kill so bad, they'll feed in and die for absolutely nothing. Yeah,
and Harry's already back up at that Uber. They've still got aggressive hold going for Toys, as we talked about. It's long that they have to work with Kazuki going in for a bomb. Gets one rocket down onto Humphrey, but little bit of a fade and now no flank for Toys. I imagine they'll be going back to second.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always interesting to see when people switch up the metagame a little bit on a point like this. They really just want to have offense be their best defense here on this point, and I can't say it didn't do anything at all. It certainly did some stuff, but the risk-reward on this one is certainly interesting to say the least here. We'll see if it works out long-term for them here. But now, they need to think in the short-term. They just have 4.5 more minutes left to go, and without a pyro, that will be a little bit hard on this point.
Yeah, Uber Trade Sammy has it on for a lot longer and is gonna basically bully that Dastron in the corner. Smith is again so far forward, just playing up top alone as Sammy's happy to play below. He's just denied that area. No stacking up in tunnel here. And there's a demo.
There's the card coming in as well. It's looking promising for Moro to start taking some space finally. Still denied once by the heavy there. And the double man gets walked over by the own heavy as well. Dashron finally back in after a bit of trouble earlier. Who will just mow things down for the rest of the team to take advantage of as well. And everyone's just gone in the secondary moment they took their chance with that repush. And this is looking brilliant here into the third point where it's barely anyone up just now. The spawns are coming in at least, maybe just so in time, but still asking for a lot to bring this one back on this point alone, let alone for the rest of the round.
Yeah, very separated and fragmented hold there from Choice. Not having that pyro next to the medic allowed him the very, very easy bombs. Lands on Harry's head, takes him out, and now Watter's going to have a chunky Uber advantage to work with. The car's still quite way back. Bomb coming in from Kazuki's immediately going to take Funsky out, but Uber's coming in from main onto Dastron and Humphrey.
Alright, Uber will go deep, tries to cut off the exit there a little bit as well, but they are struggling a little bit, maybe getting a couple of kills, but I don't know if that's enough right now. Yawn still cleans up so late for this one. Just keeps space nicely on this third point, and with 3 minutes left to go. They have a very doable task at hand if it wasn't for Harry's Uber. And I know that as well. Harry is really far back at spawn. They don't want to lose that guy. Find the spy as well, most importantly, to make things a little bit easier here too. Moro needs to get rid of this Uber fast right now to get a good advantage going.
Not sure I agree with Harry's position playing forward here with only that heavy to defend him. They didn't make the most of it though, Moro. Surely that was a perfect opportunity to go for Sacco. Had they spotted Harry playing aggressively with no sentry gun, with no pyro next to him, would have been a very, very easy force. But as it is, Moro didn't take that opportunity, and they might pay for it. Still have 2 and 30 to work with, but definitely a misplay there.
It'll cost them a bit of time, maybe that it all waits until they actually get the Uber up and not get a force beforehand, but fine, hey, if this play with Uber works now and it's certainly already looking promising, then it does not matter if it could have been better, if it's good enough here. Uber comes in eventually, you already got 3 kills on the way there, let alone any more during this fight at least as well. Yawn's really trying to get a bit more damage there, stuck on the gun unfortunately, will go down. High bomb comes through, everyone's looking in the sky, and the damage from the low ground in the meantime, flying in there to force people back. Eventually, Crit Engineer comes through, actually with some good damage there as well, but will eventually fall, and the rest of the team has to just follow up, blocking this card so desperately for the team in red, and still might about be enough to give them some second chances, but if you have to struggle this hard now, what are you going to do for the next minute and a half?
Yeah, Monga has found hugely as well and found some space from Red Room. Just spamming out, as you say, the car is very, very close. It's going to be desperate defense for 90 seconds here for Twice. Ubers are fairly even. Howie just has a sliver advantage, so it's going to be difficult for Moro to make it work. But it looks like they're just waiting for that Uber to come out before trade.
The swap goes to help out the red team once more. Card goes all the way down. Uber's up on both sides now. A minute left on the clock. It could already make and break this chance of Premiership for Moro if it just works out this time around. Uber exchange onto the card area here, just forcing everyone to make the choice. How far are they willing to aggress this? Red team gets most of them out for now. Didn't have any major losses there as well. 50 seconds left. Time is ticking. Find the scout as well. Humphrey left alone on the flank. Doesn't really have anyone to play with just now as well. And that's the big damage coming through out of nowhere onto the medic. Water going down to what feels like nothing at all, just immediately goes down there in the end. Humphrey still on the flank though, a bit uncontested, gets the gun at least, until eventually some eyes catch that Devilman on the flank. Very mixed affair here right now, but that medic situation alone might just break this.
They weren't predicting that uncontested heavy, but yeah, only 20 seconds, and there is a banner for Kazuki. The battalion's back up once more doing work, and why it's being talked about is potentially far too powerful weapon, but you can see how well here Twice playing around it, just defending. 8 seconds left, one last attempt to just stuff everyone in through main, but it's not going to happen for Moro, and Twice are going to book their spot in Premiership.
Yeah, it is. That will do it. Got the medic there once again just before the final push, and going into any of this without heals is just a miserable position to be in. Twice making really good use of the openings they had on the medic this game, and it will get them what is that spot in Premiership?
Yeah, I just felt at times tonight Moro couldn't keep up with the pace, with the aggression that Twice were playing at. They were just shell-shocking them. They were just really kind of stepping on their throats and not allowing them to breathe any second. I hope for Moro that they're going to be able to bounce back. They won't take too much misery from this game, and maybe it's just in case they probably have to sort out this demo situation. Might help a little bit, because I don't think this was the same kind of level of performance we saw on Monday.